and then they came up north or northwest to the New World, which is the Americas, all right? But we don't have a map to show you, but maybe later I'll put it in. If I can get a map, I'll mix it in, all right? Okay, go ahead.
It says, for through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsareth. Then dwelt
right, and the word Arsareth means new region or new part of the world, which was America. You know it today as America. Go ahead.
Then dwelt they there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come.
Right, now when they shall begin to come, because the rest of the tribes, how did the rest of the tribes get to America, to the Americans? By slavery.
Sorry, there's a small one right
okay,
there.
good. But you know, he can get a close-up on it. The cameraman can get a close-up on it. Yeah. Okay, this right here is, this is where they were. That's the Red Sea. The Euphrates, you can't hardly see it, right? The Persian Gulf is right here. Now this right here, they went from here.
Oh yeah, I heard this shit like 3 o'clock.
They went from here. They went down here, under Africa, and then they went northwest, and they landed somewhere around in South America. And this was all known as the land of Canaan. And that's where the tribes went to. Some of them went to the southern, some of them went to the west, some of them went up into the north. Like for example, North America, you got Canada, and you got so-called North America, right, or United States. Gad was all up in here. The southern part of this continent, you had Reuben down into here. And then you had Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, they were Asher, they were in the islands, and then Asher was down in here in South America and so forth. So that all makes sense. So when you take this word and you put maps to it, and you put the pieces of the puzzle together, then you understand what it's all about. So you mean to tell me Negro just popped out of nowhere and just became Negro? We just popped out of nowhere. No. Everything is written in the Bible. Everything is written in the records. Okay? All right, now let's go back and read.
Okay, verse 45. For through that country there was a great way to go.
And let me say this. From here to here, that's approximately 3,000 miles. That's 3,000 miles. They're coming from over here. From both fleets. There wasn't no one boat, so there were a million Israelites. So there were fleets. So from here to here, how many miles is that? That's got to be more than 10,000 miles. That has to be more than 10,000 miles. So it makes sense that it took a year and a half. Well, we'll say about 10,000 miles. All right? All right, go ahead.
It says, for through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsareth,
which is the land of Canaan, which is now known as America, jumping into the future. All right, you have Christopher Columbus, the late 1400s and the beginning of the 1500s, because Columbus, they spoke about with what was the name of Ferdinand, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. They spoke about, they made a deal that if you went over there and took that land for us, for this sovereign, that you would get a great name. You would become great. And they were talking about naming the land after Columbus. And the word Columbus, by the way, if you look it up, Columbia means dove, which is synonymous with peace. All right, because they were going around saying that they were the Christians. All right, which a lot of them, some of them, the people of the crew were actual Israelites. Now we don't know if Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, we don't know if they were Israelites. We don't know if they were Edomites that looked like Israelites, because you had a big mixture of Israelites living all through Europe at that time. And they were in power. All right? Go ahead.
It says...
But anyway, I'm sorry. Anyway, They thought about naming the land after Columbus, but there was a navigator, a captain at that time, his contemporary, Columbus's contemporary, by the name of Amerigo Vespucci. All right? Now the land was named after him. Okay? The land was, well, the whole region is called America.
Yep.
The southern part, all right? So they said we're going to name that land after Amerigo. And by the way, the word Amerigo means America, and Amerigo means bitter. And is this land bitter to the so-called white man? No. Who is it bitter to? It's bitter to the Israelites. Because you Puerto Ricans didn't come over here, well, you try to come over here for a better life, but you caught hell. You living in the slums in the ghetto. The black man, he's living in the slums in the ghetto. You got a handful of Negroes that kind of made it in the industry and set up businesses and became CEOs. But you know what? They still lost because they don't know their nationality. So what's the sense of you being a CEO of a company and being worth billions of dollars if you don't know who the hell you are? You're a damn fool with a lot of money.
Yeah.
Or like P. Diddy, Puffy, whatever the hell, he keeps changing his name like a damn kid. I'm Puffy, I'm P. Diddy, I'm this, I'm that, I'm Diddy Diddy. Whatever the hell you want to be. You're a damn fool with a lot of money. All right, and really you don't even have no money. You have FRN, Federal Reserve Notes. Oprah Winfrey, okay, like I said a couple of weeks ago, she was on this show on public PBS where she was trying to find her African roots with this black professor.
Jakasulo. She said that descended of Jakasulo tribe.
Right, but no, they said that her line went back to Liberia. That's what they said, because I watched it a couple of times. Actually, when you brothers left, do you know they played that thing again? And I went to sleep and I had the TV on, and I was half asleep and I wanted to get up and tape it, but I couldn't.
Channel 13?
It was on Channel 13. And they might show it again.
I gotta look for it.
Right. But anyway, she's a billionaire. She's a billionaire, but she still doesn't know who she is because she thinks she's an African. But this professor found out he was an African. His line went up to Europe because they did DNA. Oprah Winfrey, her line went up to Europe, but there was a little connection to Liberia, which are Israelites that went back to Africa because they were thinking that they were Africans. Then Chris Tucker, his line mostly went up to Europe because you had Israelites living up in Europe. But his line, whatever DNA went back to Africa, it went back to Cameroon, which are Israelites. And I believe that's in the western part of Africa. Then Whoopi Goldberg, as black as she is, I would think she was an African. But her whole line went back to Europe, showing that there were Israelites that lived all up in Europe. Now let me get back to my point. Let's read on.
It says, then dwelt they there until the latter time, and now when they begin to come.
Right, the they begun to come is talking about the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Benjamin, and the tribe of Levi. And how did they come over here? They came over here during the time of the late 1500s, the 1600s, the 1700s, even into the 1800s, when we brought over here to serve slavery. So that's the time period where they shall begin to come. Is there more to that?
Then it says, the highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through there. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace.
Right, the multitude is talking about Israel, how they're going to be gathered together, all right? Now, what do we have over here? Let's go back to Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy 7. Deuteronomy 7:1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and has cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites,
which are really all Canaanites. They came out of Cain. Go ahead. But there were tribes among Cain. Go ahead.
and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them.
Now, where did they destroy them? Let's go back to that other map. Bring this map down. Let's go back to the other map.
Bringing out the point about Canaan.
Right.
And
That's the land of Canaan. All right? Go ahead.
And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them.